The presentation is on Lean Startup and Agile. We'll be discussing the build, measure, learn feedback loop. This loop is a cornerstone of iterative product development, helping teams to create and refine products based on real-world data and customer feedback. Lean Startup is a methodology for developing businesses and products. It aims to shorten product development cycles by adopting a combination of business hypothesis-driven experimentation, iterative product releases, and validated learning. Essentially, it's about quickly testing ideas and adapting based on customer feedback to avoid wasting time and resources on products nobody wants. The build, measure, learn cycle is the heart of the Lean Startup methodology. It is within Agile that this framework is used. The cycle begins with ideas that are transformed into a product. You then build a minimum viable product or MVP, which is a basic version of your product. Next, you measure how customers interact with the MVP, collecting data. Finally, you learn from the data, determining whether to pivot, meaning change direction, or persevere, meaning continue with your current strategy. This learning then feeds back into new ideas, restarting the cycle. The build phase is centered around creating a minimum viable product or MVP. The MVP is the smallest version of your product that delivers value and allows you to test your core hypothesis. Focus should be on speed, quickly building and deploying the MVP to test assumptions rather than spending time on perfection. The design of your build should validate specific assumptions about your product or the market. The measure phase involves collecting meaningful data on how users interact with your product. It's critical to track key metrics to understand user behavior and validate your hypotheses. Important metrics include acquisition, which is how users find you, activation, which is the initial value experience, retention, which means the users coming back, and revenue, which is your monetization success. The learn phase is about using the data collected to validate or invalidate your initial hypotheses and inform your next steps. A critical decision point is whether to pivot or persevere. To pivot means to change direction based on what you've learned. To persevere means to continue with your current strategy. There are two types of learning. Customer learning is about understanding who your users are. Problem learning is about identifying what needs solving for those users. There are several types of pivots that can be made based on what you learn. A zoom-in pivot is when a single feature becomes the whole product, focusing on what works best. A customer segment pivot uses the same product, but targets a different type of customer who needs it. A channel pivot involves changing how you deliver your product to customers. A technology pivot uses the same solution with completely different technology. An engine of growth pivot changes your strategy for customer acquisition and revenue. A value pivot changes the way your product creates value for customers. Lean startup principles can be effectively integrated into Agile sprints. Think of each sprint as one complete build, measure, learn cycle. Your product backlog should be hypothesis-driven, prioritizing user stories that validate or invalidate key assumptions. Retrospective should be data-informed, using metrics to guide improvement discussions. There are numerous benefits to combining Lean Startup with Agile methodologies. You will experience reduced waste, focusing resources on validated features that deliver customer value. You'll have a faster time to market, shipping products earlier with essential features to gain market feedback. You will make data-driven decisions, basing product direction on evidence rather than assumptions. And you will have increased adaptability with a structured approach to pivoting when market realities demand change. Here are some key takeaways from our presentation. The build, measure, learn feedback loop is the core of Lean Startup methodology. Validated learning is more important than following original plans. Agile provides the perfect framework for implementing Lean Startup principles. Measurement and data should drive your development decisions. Start implementing these principles today to build better products and businesses. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.